there's reasons why modernity is collapsing. And that is because of the arrogance of that audacity that believes that we can somehow control God, that we can fashion him into the image that we want him to be, so that we can, I mean, everyone wants change, but we want change that we can manage. We want change that comes in increments, that we can control, that won't disrupt us, that won't in any way threaten our hierarchies, our vested interests. Well, that's not going to, I don't know if that's ever worked. It's always worked when people get disillusioned, desperate, and in that longing and hunger with all of the confusion and the downside of that, God hears their cry. Yeah?
How far does love go?
Man, farther than we can go. I think that's part of why Paul and others say, who can mind the depths of this thing? Because the resistance of us is always greater than the capacity of who love wants to embrace and where it wants to go, you know? There's no fear in love, you know? We have all these fears, but love is much greater than our fear. But I think it's our fear that always keeps us holding back, going, do I dare surrender to our love? Do I dare surrender, you know? Because we love being in control. Yeah.
What's love's agenda?
What's love's agenda? I don't think it has an agenda. I mean, it's a means and an end all in itself. It just is. Because at the end of the day, God is love and love is God. I mean, it's just that. When we experience love, we're experiencing God. I'm not trying to say that every dimension of love is the full revelation of God, but I'm just saying this is him reaching out to us. You know, it's a taste of the powers of the coming age. It's our future. It's our eternity. Hey, we're not going to exhaust love through eternity. We're going to barely scratch the surface now.
What's your strategy for love?
Oh man, deal with me. I'm the main enemy to love, I tell you that. My self-centeredness, my fears, my anxieties, my belief in scarcity. You know, I think in a lot of ways the strategy is just learning how to see. Learning how to see, because when you begin, instead of seeing as I was conditioned to see growing up, I became an expert at seeing what's wrong with everybody so I could feel better about myself. Surrendering all of that, finding my identity in God, and joining this great adventure of seeing what he sees. And what I would encounter, I mean, this whole thing of what we call prophetic ministry. I mean, most of what I've seen is pathetic ministry. And to me, the more you focus on gifting, the more you just begin to construct a whole concoction of things, some of which might be originated by the Spirit and wrapped up with our own anxieties and self-centeredness. But at the end of the day, I guarantee anyone who just surrenders that and truly looks around them and says, God, how do you see each person? Will end up becoming profoundly prophetic. I think the curse of our present existence is introspection. You know, we're just so consumed with ourselves. We put on these glasses and we cannot see, you know, beyond the reach of our arms. And I think what we want to do is put on those kingdom glasses that begins to see everything in the light of eternal love and sees everything as being on that journey. And then we don't start gauging people by how far along they are. If you're in the journey, you're in the only place that you ever get to. If there's no end to the journey, all we ever get to is in the journey. So you start celebrating where everyone is and how love is reaching them and capturing them. It's none of it's come natural to me, but little by little, patiently, God is teaching me how to see the world that way, how to see how he sees, and you know, it's transforming everything.
What does it have to do with salvation?
You know, salvation, if salvation indeed is faith, and if it's a gift of faith, I think many are understanding today the essence of that whole word faith is commitment. I mean, salvation isn't about inviting Jesus into our hearts in some kind of, I'm the center of the universe, come and be my personal assistant. It really is a subversive thing. It is a complete surrender, and it is trusting in and committing to an entirely new realm, a whole new world, a whole new age, it is completely believing that I'm going to live my life under this rule. And in essence, it is the rule of love. I think that's what it means to be saved. And so, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm getting saved every day. You know, I have great confidence that I'm in the journey and that God is going to honor that. Can I live it faithfully? No, I can't. But it's the grace of God that keeps calling me deeper into that journey. You know, I'm terrified of kind of the thing that allows you to put your hand up at a meeting, somehow sign some kind of end time contract, and now we can ignore love, you know, and pick it up later. I don't think that's what he was intending.